Hello, welcome to my channel Conscious Growing. I'm Matthias. So today's video will be about thoughts and chronic illness. How is it related? And I've spoken about it quite a lot in some other videos, and today I want to focus a little bit on that again. So also I want to repeat and share that I'm no medical profession, and everything I share here are my own personal observations. And so I'm dealing with chronic symptoms after corona infections, what people usually call long COVID. And the more I entered into this field and of course my own recovery, it became more clear that it's all based on a scared brain, on a hypersensitive nervous system, and that this is the main issue. And today I want to talk about how much this is related to the conditions we have. And I think in general we all experience the same amount of thoughts each and every day. So scientists have shared that we have around 70,000 thoughts each day, every one of us, healthy or so-called chronic ill, doesn't matter. And I think that everyone has negative thoughts, and we all have negative thoughts that come up. But if you're stuck in a chronic illness, then of course it's quite likely that negative thoughts are more on the surface and you experience them a lot during this process. And I find it very important to see this and to take a step back and really understand what is the habit of your own thinking, of your own mind. Because if you have a chronic illness and when you go through it, you have to clear up your mind. Because if you don't do, you will get stuck in the negative thought patterns. And as I said, every healthy person has the same patterns. But in many of the cases, people don't have symptoms, and that's why they don't care. So if you have symptoms and sensations, it's the opportunity to have a closer look, and in a way we are forced to have a look. And as you can imagine, there's no point to swap 60 to 70,000 thoughts each day. So because when you are in this illness and you're ruminating the whole day through, thinking about your symptoms and how to get rid of them and what a poor person you are, and will it ever get better, and all these thought streams, in order to change them, I think it's really important, first of all, to identify them. And that means that you don't have to swap every single negative thought, because this would exhaust you quite fast. So, but to observe what are the tendencies, what is your daily inner dialogue, because I think this part is really important, because from my point of view there are three different, very important foundations. And the first thing is that you have to understand the mechanics of the illness, so caused by a hypersensitive nervous system. And you have to understand and see that, because if you don't see it and don't understand it, you will always look for solutions out there, and that can be really tiring, and of course it exhausts the mind as well. And then the second thing which is really important is to how you react on your symptoms, what is your reaction. And there we already hit this mindset and thought aspect. So means when symptoms come up, or when you are having your symptoms for a while and you freak out, or you're kind of frustrated all the time, in despair, and you feed this situation with more negative thoughts, then you become a victim of the situation, and this is dragging you down. This is dragging us down if we go on. So first of all, it's good to find a kind of neutral state again and again. And so, and then this third aspect, because I think you can be well with the first two. The first, okay, I know what it is. The second, I respond well to the symptoms. But the third point, how is my inner talk, my self-talk? Is it positive, or do I complain? Do I end up in despair? Do I see myself as a victim? Do I feed the fear in me? Because if this third point doesn't work, if you don't have a new perspective on the situation, you easily get stuck, because you always feed it with more negative thoughts. And so, as I said, it's not possible to swap all these negative thoughts. But I think, first of all, you have to make an agreement with yourself and to say, I will get better. I have aims in life. I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to, I really have something I'm looking forward to. Because if that's not there, it's really hard to stay on course, because then you're just ruminating, and you're just hanging around in this negative, bad neighborhoods, so to speak. And so, like, recovery is something that goes in little steps towards some, more capacities, physical capacities, but also these mental foundations are really important. And so if you have some kind of direction, this is something you can manifest each and every day. You remind yourself, this is why I'm going through this. It can be many things. It can be, I want to be healthy for my partner. I want to be healthy for my children. I want to be healthy for myself. I want to be healthy to share something in this world, how I went through it. It can be valuable for other sick people because you become a great example how to go through it. And so it can be many more motivations. I just named a few. And yeah, it can also have spiritual, religious reasons. The list is endless. And so with this commitment, you make these little steps in the physical aspect, but then also in the aspect of your own thoughts. And first, when you discover the negativity that comes up, it's a chance to transform them. So not each and every one, but in general to change the perspective and to change the thoughts. Because again, we want to see that these thoughts that are produced, these negative, worried thoughts, are thoughts from the primal brain, the survival brain, this part which is always anxious, always looking for a threat, wants to protect us, but this protection based on fearful background and fearful expectations. So it's good not to believe and listen to these thoughts. So this means we have to convince this part in us that we are safe and that there's nothing structurally wrong in our body in most of the cases. Of course, you have to rule it out with your doctors, but if you see that there's nothing serious going on, you can be pretty sure that it is just your brain that causes these nervous system issues and also sensations in form of pains or other weird sensations. And so we have to change the story in us, and we have to see first of all the negativity in it, and in a way not to fight it. Yeah, because this is something that was built up maybe all our life, and we can't eliminate it from one moment to the other. We need some compassion with ourselves, and we need some time to deal with it, but really be clear that these are just thoughts and that we don't identify with these kinds of thoughts. And it's like you have just this example comes to my mind. There's a wild horse, and this horse is wild and jumping up, and there's someone who wants to calm this horse down, and it will take time and lots of patience and some kind of effort also. And so if you know how to do it, you will do it constantly, and you will do it in a calm way, and you will repeat it, and you will invite this horse to come down and get some trust. And with time, the horse calms down. And I don't know if this is a good example, because the outcome, you can discuss about it. Maybe it's better to leave the horse with his wild energy and freedom. But I think you understand the point. And so when this horse becomes more calm, through a consistent attention and invitation, some trust between the horse and the human will arise, and then this will bring a new quality between two living creatures. So it's the same here. We have to see the tendency of our thought patterns, allow them to be there, not to fight them, to observe them, but then also to make new decisions for the better and change the self-talk. And when you have these moments where this other voice is really loud and noisy, it's so important to be calm and quiet, allow it to be there, not to resist, but also be clear with your intention. And there comes into play what I said earlier. What do I really want? And what do I trust? Where is this? Where do I steer myself? In what kind of direction? Gently. And this is a big question, and I think we have to ask it many, many times more along the day and along the whole recovery, because the more we are aware of these kind of thoughts, we also see the connection from the thoughts to the body. Because when we have these kind of negative thoughts, this is the message the body and the brain receives. First the brain, and then it gives these kinds of informations to the body. And then we're hanging in this vicious cycle, this endless loop of suffering, and there's no one else who can break this cycle other than us. And so it's kind of looking behind the fear, because everything, all these symptoms and all these emotions underneath, they are all fear-based. And the more we invite ourselves in a more positive direction, and something that's more trustful, then the thoughts lead the actions, the following actions, and then the thoughts also have to come first to heal this system. It's quite clear and obvious. It seems so simple when I speak about it, but we know how rough this can be, this kind of process. Yeah, in the moment you hear it, you think, yeah, it makes all so much sense. But then 5 minutes later, symptoms come up, and then we forget about it, and then we easily get caught up in the old familiar thought structures and patterns. And to go there a little bit more less is the new direction. And every time you can respond more calm to what's coming up, and use your own mind to cure yourself, because then I deeply believe then that when the mind is better, when the the own thoughts are more healthy, then the body will follow sooner or later. It's just a question of time, a matter of time. And the less we distract ourselves and the more we give good fertilizer to ourselves, the more we can flourish and grow and become more resilient. And yeah, so this is what I wanted to share. Some food for thought, and I think it's really important to see the patterns, their own patterns, the negative spirals, the habits. And when you recognize them, when you identify them, then there is a choice. There's a new choice. Because then there is this gap between your experiencing these thoughts and observing them. And in this moment there's a gap. And you are not only the one who immediately has certain reactions to the symptoms. And with time and practice, the system calms down more and more. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. And of course, this is happening in all spiritual practices. This is mentioned. So it's not only people with chronic symptoms who have to deal with their own mind. We all have the same thing to work on. But I have to repeat this, it's just when symptoms come, it's just like a knocking on the door, and it's just an invitation to have a closer look to yourself, to your patterns, and in the most compassionate possible way. Never think it's your fault or you have done something wrong in your life. It's not like that. I think it's the opportunity to have a closer look to the own patterns in mind. That's all. And you don't have to become a new person, but as I said, gently steering yourself in a new, calmer, more respectful and more clear direction with your own thought patterns. That's it. And then gradually this will change. I feel it, and I'm sure this is possible for everyone. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I'm glad if you put a thumb up, or if you're curious for more content, then you can take my channel. And what else? I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you're fine, and be well, and see you next time. Bye for now.